disaster show that people will remember for ages. There doesn't really seem to be an in-between for these two teams. We'll find out who stays alive in stage 2 because, like I said, both of these teams, they're not close to qualifying. They're close to being eliminated.
Yeah, we didn't even really say much about that. Both these teams are sitting at 0-2, by the way. So one of these teams is going home. They are not going to be in the final playoff bracket. And I mean, we might not see either of them, but at least one of them is going home here and one of them is staying alive for another series. And that's a shame to see here, but that's how tight, how tough Europe is this season. It has just been a gauntlet for anyone.
Especially with a lot of these up-and-coming teams and up-and-coming players that have found themselves onto established teams. Nolly and Tho, I talk about them with Scrub Killa. They haven't been in the scene as long as some of the players on the pitch here, but they're part of this upswing that Europe has seen and has contributed to the craziness and the upsets. You just don't know where everybody falls on the radar outside of one or two teams. Maybe on both sides, both the best teams and the worst teams. Maybe that's the only teams you really have figured out. But everyone in the middle is vying for a little more credence. But I mean, so far in this opening minute, Corelli, or the opening 2 minutes, it hasn't been easy for either offense to get started. Good approaches on defense, hard touches into gaps. No one really able to find any sort of consistency just yet.
Yeah, conservative approach here from both sides. Though wants to take this one up by himself. He actually does get by Fruity and Speed there to carry it out. Neither team having a solid look on target yet. We'll see who's the first to break down the other's defense. A lot of time here for Guild to get situated.
Wow. We'll let it roll the whole way back. And Scrub will just take it himself. So you spend so much time getting a play set up, yet instead of getting some sort of structure heading downfield, we just go for an air dribble and hope for a win on the challenge. That's a save from Speed. He'll knock it back up to the side. Fruity will boom it downfield.
Well, we saw it last week. Guild very much like to get into the air dribble, whether it's picking it up from a pass or taking it themselves. And they're quite good at it. We saw it before last week. And that has been kind of their bread and butter because when you think about this team, you have a lot of weapons. And here's one when in Tho getting the first goal for Guild.
Nolly, first solid touch onto this ball, and Cooks just couldn't get back to it. He used everything that he had, but Nolly just took it too far away from him. He didn't have the boost to be able to chase it down. And the rotation, no one else was able to cover for Cooks there. And the first goal.
Oh, no.
And the second goal are scored back-to-back. Speed equalizing this real quick.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happened here from Scrub. He just turned away. And I guess he just didn't think that ball was going to pop out, or at least he was trying to get back to play defense, but unfortunately turned the wrong way and couldn't have any chance of a defensive try on that ball, and a kickoff goal given up by Guild.
Has to be frustrating to be the one to set an early tone, but to have it wiped away by a kickoff goal immediately. One of the most frustrating things, because you're trying to establish a rhythm. And it's so hard to establish a rhythm when there's a pause right after another pause, and you're not really feeling good when that second pause comes around because you just got scored on. Speed, probably not feeling good after getting demoed. And Cooks, actually very fortunate that it ended up bouncing how it did to Fruity because the rest of Guild were ready for the bounce had it ended up the other way. Fruity in midfield gets another solid touch, but there really isn't a lot going on for Team Liquid right now. They're forcing a lot of the balls that Guild are giving them out to the sides. They get this clear here, but are we looking for passes or are we just dumping the ball in front? Because somebody isn't on the same game plan for Liquid yet.
Yeah, not a lot of options when Liquid moved down the field, and unfortunately none of them converting on either the pass or the shot. And Guild are just kind of taking the ball away and saying, thank you very much. Oh my goodness, did he just pinch that in?
That is the old dunk pitch. 360 twirl. Well, he did the 360 way earlier, but you get my point.
That's another nice. 113 kilometer per hour there.
You're right. That's crazy.
My goodness, the pinches today are just unreal from really every team here in Europe. And Scrub, you knew he could kind of just jackknife that one down. Here's the pass over to Nolly. Guild starting to heat up here on offense.
Speed setting up a play for Liquid. Despite that pressure that was about to build, the rest of Guild retreated. 2 went back to go collect some boost, and nobody was ready for the other challenge. Scrub finds no bump against Speed, looked for it. Fruity grabs the ball. He's got Cooks on the wing, but they can't connect. Liquid continuing these passes downfield, but they haven't connected on one of them. And then they can't even hang on to the ball on offense. That's a great... Yeah, I'm not going to scream on Liquid on that one. That was a great approach by Nolly for sure.
And it just puts Guild right back into offense. And I will say, Guild's transition game has just been phenomenal here. So quick down the field. And it feels like Liquid, though, are giving them the space to do it a little bit. But give credit to Guild. They're very quick to move down the field and just force that first chance, which just puts that defense on the back foot immediately.
Ooh, Speed cuts under 1, but Fruity comes in against Cooks. Cooks is still there. He hadn't moved. Scrub had the save and maybe a clear, but he's got to stay behind it. He can't. Fruity can't find Cooks. The pass broken up. Liquid. Speed knows he's got one more chance, but couldn't land under the ball. That is a Guild victory.
Yeah, and I think a very clean Guild victory here over Team Liquid. I thought that they played extremely well, and I think that for Liquid, though, is a very reactionary defense. It felt like they were reacting to a lot of what Guild was giving them or what Guild was coming at them with. And that's what gave all of the space over to Guild to kind of play with. You see a lot of air dribbles flying through the midfield. You even saw a lot of plays where, even in that play, maybe 2 minutes into that game where Scrub had all that time to kind of collect boosts from his corner, then pick the ball up. Nobody challenged from Team Liquid. They completely left the midfield wide open, and Scrub still went for the air dribble, so he kind of fell into the trap. But for Liquid, a lot of space given up in the midfield that Guild are taking advantage of. That's why you're seeing that transition game be so strong from them.
Well, it does feel like that's what Liquid are relying on, right? They're relying on Guild to play for Scrub Killer to just air dribble the ball downfield and try to force a challenge, because they had just positioned for themselves to expect it. And I can hear Speed in my head as he's going, watch, like Scrub's got all this space. He's just going to air dribble it towards us. And then that's exactly what he did. And he did it a couple of times. But I think that if Liquid can start to find form, and I feel like they were starting to find it, really the biggest criticism I had was it just felt disjointed on offense. The first man was looking for a pass to a second man that wasn't there, or the pass just was poor, wasn't on point, and third man is just hoping to play damage control because the ball kept getting boomed back downfield. And they want to trap the ball in their own half. They want to move forward as a team, but if even half a thing goes wrong, then the whole play dies and they have no way to continue pressure. That's how that game 1 happened, and Guild punished them for it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that's why, to your point there, Guild did punish them over and over and over again. That's why you saw them move down the field so quickly. That's why they were able to have so much space to work with. Felt like Liquid were all in on plays that were kind of half chances or that never really fully materialized, whether it was a bad pass or a missed touch, and never really generated a lot of dangerous chances that Guild did in the end on most of their offensive tries.
And we are getting a new server set up, so we have a slight delay, but not for too long. We're getting everybody into the match as quick as possible, and we'll get game 2 underway. But this is not how, especially for, both of these teams that haven't been as consistent as they would have hoped, Corelli, they came out in Regional 1. They weren't the results that they wanted, and that really puts a lot of more pressure on you, because if you don't qualify for the playoffs in Regional 2, you're going to have to go on a really deep run in Regional 3 to put yourself in a really solid position at the top of the standings if you don't want the major to be a fight every single step of the way, because that's what it will be if you end up in those 13 to 16 spots.
And it's a grind coming into this as well, and especially the pressure that players feel even at this point, right? We're in the second stage now, and both these teams are sitting at 0-2. Like, this is a huge deal, right? Like you're talking about, the implications of not making into that final bracket or making it further here is very huge for both of these teams, where a lot of people would put these teams at the top of Europe, or at least, in the fight for the top of Europe.
Well, game 2 underway. Speed winning the kickoff. Fruity slows it down right in front, and Tho hops right on top of it, but the shot comes from Cooks and saved by Scrub. Nolly coming in front to deny another opportunity from Speed. Liquid come explosive off the kickoff, but come away empty. They'll kick the ball downfield again. So Guild got a couple of shots thrown their way. If you were a little lax at the start, you certainly aren't now. What a touch from Tho!
Wow.
No, he puts it in! But all the work belongs to Tho.
Absolutely. This was all, though, such a creative little chance here as he puts it off the inside of his car so that goes back towards his teammate to perfectly line him up for a shot. Beautifully done by Tho, and that's a great way to start off for Guild.
Liquid can't let that get into their heads, because it could easily just snowball from here with how the day has gone for Liquid. Nolly right on top of another challenge. He catches the ball out, and Speed on his rotation back will take the ball away from him. Still now getting a little more aggressive on these challenges. Tho was there. Nolly not going to take that angle against Cooks, who had some struggles hanging on to the ball. And it's another easy clear for Guild.
And one that's just carried downfield, and almost a follow-up from Nolly inside the box. Speed might still be able to stay with it, but not quick enough, though. Might have this one all the way if he's faster than Fruity. He certainly is. And a 2-goal lead now for Guild.
There's Tho. He's popping off in game number 2. Speed doesn't win that challenge at all, and Fruity, he was positioned for at least a touch to happen from Speed there. Instead, it came full blast onto his backboard. It came so fast that he still almost was in a fortunate spot, but just a little too far forward to beat Tho to the ball, and it was excellent speed from Tho, but Cooks here, almost put it in himself. Cooks, no goal denied.
Probably the best look here for Liquid was that air dribble from Cooks just a moment ago. Otherwise, Guild's defense really hasn't been tested much, and again, they're happy to throw this one downfield and see what comes out from Liquid. Right now, not too much, is Tho's not going to go for this one. The clear comes out from Cooks here.
Ooh, Tho cutting off that pass, which will give some time for Guild to assess the situation. Their assessment was a clear. Well, I thought Tho was maybe picking up a demo. Instead, Fruity gets 2 demos. But Liquid, they're still going to have to go the distance with Speed. Everyone gets set on Guild on the opposite side. Again, where's the game plan with two demos, all the space in the world, and we were kicking the ball downfield, and they gave up possession, Corelli. There's been multiple times where Liquid have been given space to use, and they waste it.
Yeah, the offense, and especially that transition game, has been weak from Liquid. It's really just been one touch, and it's immediately back into a Guild player. Not much of a plan afterwards. And Guild, give credit to them. They've been quick, very speedy in the midfield. Again, here's Tho. Back to Nolly. He's going to give it back to Scrub, and he didn't really approach it that well, but still, the ideas are there from Guild, and the execution is there on a lot of these plays as well, and there's a reason why they're sitting up 2-0 in this game.
Nolly's carry was knocked away. Fruity will make a challenge happen for Speed. Fruity waits for the pass. He grabs it. Speed is there, but Fruity takes it, and Scrub will have the next clear. I'm not sure if Fruity intended for that to happen. It was a pretty quick touch off the ceiling that would be hard to avoid, but he finds the net anyway. Off the pass from Speed, Liquid finally find paint.
Yeah, and this ball just pops out straight to Fruity. Scrub just couldn't react to it in time. It's great anticipation from Fruity that chance could occur if the pinch came out that way, and good positioning to be there. And Liquid get one back here with plenty of time to work with.
Here's some confidence. Here's Cooks. He's denied by Tho, but the challenge is Fruity's. His shot met at the origin. And Tho, a hard pass to Nolly. Oh my goodness, Tho is popping off.
A great pass from Tho, another great pass from him here as he just tosses it downfield. Nolly is there. Cooks just can't get back in time. Look at the angle from Nolly as well, and a 2-goal lead now for Guild.
Is that 4 goals now for Guild? That's over 100 kilometers per hour. That was 143 from Nolly.
Oh my goodness.
That's ridiculous. You know, it takes a pinch to get to the 160s.
Yeah.
Rarely have I seen a solo touch turn into 140. We've seen like a couple 138s, 139, but you don't see it crack that 140 all too often. Nolly got the power, but Tho is the great playmaker for Guild. Nolly will pop this up easily and plenty of space to waste some time and flip the ball right over Fruity on the reset. Speed will just knock the ball out, but Fruity has to retreat, so it's got to be a win on the challenge from Cooks. But everyone from Liquid having to dive in front of the ball, it just has, no one's been in position for any of these challenges. They're expecting this to go one specific way, but it doesn't, and then they're forced to react to everything Guild are giving them. Here they are reacting again as Tho approaches off the corner. Ooh, Tho his own worst enemy there, and Liquid will have another chance downfield.
It's good passing play. Cook's shot's just a little bit off, though. Liquid, it does feel like, I don't know if the pressure is getting to them or what, but there have been some very odd missed touches here as Scrub gets a second one, and that's going to do it. Feels like Guild, a 4-1 lead, and commanding one at that.
Just late to the ball every single time. That first man loses the challenge, and a lot of times it's losing it like 90%. The second man's not ready. He's late. He had to reposition. Now he loses. Third man's not ready for that. Now he's got to reposition. He loses. Guild are just a beat ahead every single time. Here's the air dribble from Tho the whole way to the net. Tho, 5 goals.
Wow. And this is a standout performance here in this game in particular for Tho. I mean, he plays well in most games, but in this one in particular, he has done it all on both sides of the field and on both sides of either scoring or assisting for his team. He has been a massive difference maker here for Guild.
Well, you can take that one to the bank, but the deficit a little too high for this game. And Liquid, while they were looking onwards to Game 2 and Game 1, now they're looking onwards to Game 3 in Game 2. I don't see a way out for Liquid right now, Corelli. They have not been able to put together a consistent possession more than one time, and that came at the beginning of, I felt like it was the beginning of Game 1, but since then, I don't remember a time where I was really feeling like Liquid were turning the screws on Guild at all. It's just, they have 6 shots on net, but like, where were those shots?
And I think that is the question here for Liquid, and they're going to have one more game to figure things out. It just felt like they had all the pieces, but they were just putting them together incorrectly a few times. It just felt like there was the pass that wasn't there. There was a missed touch off the sidewall. I mean, this is a great play from Liquid. It's too little too late, but you do like to see the speed come out from them. And unfortunately, I think they were just outpaced here in this game against Guild, who, let's give credit to them, though, had a phenomenal performance here, which really just catapulted Guild into the lead early on.
They got to find a way to bait Guild out past midfield, because they know Liquid have been forced into hard clears and forced to dump the ball downfield. Maybe they carry it up high on the sidewall, or they go for an air dribble. But the passes, they've never really been on the mark, so Guild haven't felt that threatened. So they've been content to sit around in midfield, and the ball always ends up back in their possession. Now, there were definitely a couple of them where Tho bails Guild out because he makes some great touches. And I mean, to me, Tho was the MVP of that match for Guild. But Liquid, they got to change it up. You got to find a way to pull Guild forward, force them to have to work more than the attacking third to actually get by you. Then maybe a hard clear will work. But right now, you're not winning your 50s. It's not working out. They have to change something, or else they're going to be 0-3 out of this tournament.
Yeah, and I think that would be worst case scenario. Obviously, it is worst case scenario for any team, but for Liquid in particular, it feels like this team has so much more potential than, going 0-3 here in stage 2. And Guild is definitely a beatable team. We saw that last week. We've seen it a couple times from Guild. They have some very off games, and Liquid, it just, I'm not really sure where to put it, Jorby, because it does feel like Liquid, they do a lot of things really well, but then on the other side, a lot of things go really bad for them. It's like the pass isn't there, the touch isn't there, the shot never comes through. We're just giving the ball away. So for Liquid, it is about getting organized and being a bit more disciplined when you have possession.
Last chance for Liquid. Nolly, as I've been praising Tho's name this whole time, Nolly was a perfect complement to Tho, and both of them had popped off in that last game. And now Nolly set up for another from Scrub. He got the bump, and 2 commit from Liquid. Fruity and Cooks, or Fruity bumping into Cooks here on that play. And Scrub now dunks one. Tho, light shot up high that Cooks grabs. Still, though, it's Guild ball. Speed He's met with a challenge, but he's downfield for a pass. Shot!
Nice shot.
Beautiful shot from Speed. Liquid have the lead.
And catching Guild on the transition is one of the best things that Liquid can do. Scrub went for the boost, didn't even get it. And that's a phenomenal shot from Speed, hit with pace to the other side of the net. Very tough for any defender to get up to that one. And a great start here for Team Liquid.
Now Speed, after feeling the rush from that last shot, will take the next carry, dump it down, but nothing develops here for Liquid. Last man, Fruity, will grab the ball. Now he's gonna have to wait for Nolly. He'll steal the boost out, knowing he's not gonna win that next challenge, but Nolly gets free reign to grab the ball, and Speed's forced to make a tough save. Tho grabs the ball back to Scrub, and Fruity gets there just in time, but that play should have never put Liquid on defense. Fruity flip reset and dove on it. That was Nolly. Another hard clear. What a touch. Nolly off the backboard. Nothing. Speed will take it away. Cooks wins another challenge. Well, now 50-50s are turning towards Liquid. Fruity keeps it back around to the corner, and Tho will handle the ball, but Speed catches it. Cooks having to avoid Tho, and he's taken out of the play anyway, as Tho will catch it off of Scrub's pass. Oh!
Tho almost doing it himself, but you can tell, I mean, the pace has picked up here for Team Liquid in particular. I mean, they are literally moving around the field faster at this point. They're just keeping up with the pace and the play in which Guild are playing at. Guild gonna have another attack here, and Speed gonna pick it up and carry it away.
Couple of moments of miscommunication on Liquid in midfield. That is not gonna help their efforts as Fruity stops the counterattack, and Scrub takes the ball away from him. Now Liquid forced into a retreat that they'd rather be left alone in front of their own box. But what is going on the goal line? Cookster was flipping forward. Did he get bumped on the play? What happened? He's backing up. No, he just missed it.
Play just developed too fast in front of him, and I think he was unsure of where it was going to go, if it was going to be passed back out, carried across, or just come right at him on the near post. So he was backing up and then realized this play was actually going back out towards the box, and unfortunately couldn't make the play at that point. So a tough read for Cooks there, and Guild better for it as they sit 1-1.
This still looks better for Liquid overall, but it's a cavalcade of errors that lead to a goal for Guild. Giving up possession in situations that they shouldn't have. Touches where they either weren't supposed to touch that or somebody didn't call somebody off. Either way, it's very clear that it's a struggle right now, and Guild have just taken advantage of it. They've looked the exact opposite of Liquid. They've been clean on the rotations. Tho has had some quality catches just like that, forcing the ball into awkward places. Scrub gets the pass to Nolly. Nolly, does he get the goal? No, but Scrub will punch it in, and Liquid dive back and forth, desperate for anything, and they get nothing.
Only player who had boost, and I'm saying any boost at all, was Cooks here. Both Fruity and Speed were sitting on 0 at that point. So for Liquid, not enough boost to really deal with the play properly. And unfortunately, again, Guild just able to pound them until finally able to score.
Despite that, all it takes is one good attack down the pitch to equalize. And Speed will be next up, but the rotation for Guild was very aggressive there, and no one was going to be able to receive for Liquid again. Nolly finds the gap for Tho, and Fruity is forced to make another save, but the third is Tho's. Cooks here winning a massive challenge for Liquid. Can they get something started? Can he score himself? No, it's taken away by Scrub, and Fruity, his challenge will be Speed's. Fruity's gonna hunt for the line on the demo. Speed will get the goal off the demo. Tie game!
What a great demo coming out from Fruity as well. He's out of the play at this point, so he just goes for the man on the goal line, and Speed puts a fantastic shot top shelf to tie it up, and Liquid finally gets something going.
Despite what you feel about Guild's performance, they're gonna have to score one more, so 1 touches, 2 touches, 3 goals for Guild! Tho is insane!
I cannot believe that he just got over 2 players in that second touch. Fruity, he had plenty of boost to get up, but I just don't think he expected it. And it was perfectly played over his head, just a kiss off the crossbar and in. And Guild, just like that, back into the lead.
When you fight so hard for every goal, when every goal has to come off of a demo or an unsavable shot. Liquid, they won't go quiet. Speed, that's the hat trick.
And they're finding a lot of success with those demo plays. Fruity got another one again, and a great pass from Cooks here across. Speed easily able to put that one away, but the demos to open up space is what's working for Team Liquid right now.
Somebody jolted the heart of Liquid. Oh no, they're gonna be put on life support again. Scrub Killer back to Tho. That's 4 goals, 3 for Tho. He gets a hattie.
I feel like we just said this, but as soon as Liquid get back into it, it was a great play from Liquid. They give up a kickoff goal, though, again there, making it just worse. Salt in the wound. And now with 53 seconds left, Liquid got to do it again.
I got some Johnny Boy knowledge for you, Team Liquid, right here. Just hit the ball between Scrub Killer and Nolly. Or is it Scrub Killer and Phil? And they'll double commit. I don't remember anymore. And I casted that match with it. Either way.
That sounds like Johnny Boy analysis.
But they roll it back out to the side. And Scrub Killer will have the carry off the ceiling. It'll actually dump down into Fruity. Maybe a chance for Liquid. Cooks has this red, but didn't get a touch onto the ball. It bounced away from him. But here's Cooks, high and taken away by Tho. Screening across Fruity. He has one catch, taking the ball away from Scrub, but Speed wasn't ready for it. Cooks gets demoed, but not before he got the touch. Speedy grabs the boost. Can he get a 4th goal for Liquid? Forces the ball out, but Tho is there for the clear. Cooks dives in front. Tho again. That's a hard ball, and Nolly takes away the potential shot from Speed, who catches the ball. Fruity gets another touch. Maybe one more for Liquid. Here's the carry. Ball punched.
Oh,
no way! Own goal! What? Guild gave it to him!
I cannot believe Speed just got away with this. Only 60 boost. And he picks it up, and Tho plays it off the top of Speed into his own net. Tho can score on both sides of the field, apparently. And we're tied up going into overtime.
Unbelievable. How do they put themselves in this situation time and again? Well, they're on their own back wall, and Speed will get bumped out of the way, but Cooks can hop in front against Nolly. Nolly forced against 2, and Fruity next up the challenge. He kills the ball again. Fruity getting in between 2 defenders. Now Cooks will go, and it slows down for a little bit, but if Guild mistouched this once, Liquid could find themselves alive in this series. Scrub back over to Nolly. Nolly's had such a good read on Liquid's rotations. He's taken chance after chance away from them. Fruity down, but can't get away from Tho. Now Cooks. Next touch denied, Corelli. Speed.
Tense going into this overtime, especially after a goal like that. Scrub does get a second touch here, and it's Speed. Not the best clear, as Tho was barreling down, and it does pinch away. And Nolly, though, this is also dangerous.
Fruity had the read to defend it just in case. Scrub will take it back around to the corner. No consistent chance there for Guild on offense. It sets up a chance for Liquid, but nothing materializes. Cooks is forced to stop the counterattack, but Nolly's got to look. He takes it first to the corner, now towards the box. Cooks tries to slow him down. No, looks for the corner, denied by Fruity. Next up, Scrub Killer, back around to the corner. Cooks is there to receive. He's actually going to let this go. Scrub will take the ball out, and now how do Liquid approach? Speed will let it fall in front. Tho has that challenge, and they just won't give Liquid any option. Guild will hop on top of them if they try to carry it. They'll pull off as soon as they know the boomer is coming, but still, Guild can't hang on to the ball on offense.
And in typical Guild fashion, we are now sitting at 19 shots for Guild, looking for their 20th here in this game. 9 shots on Tho, 6 and 4 for Scrub and Nolly, respectively, to the 7 of Team Liquid in total, but nobody's back.
Wide open.
Speed can put it away. Wide open for Team Liquid, and they get their first game.
3 demos lead to 3 goals for Liquid, Corelli. That last man has been obliterated time and again, and that is the only thing that has been working for Liquid, but it's enough to stay alive for at least another game.
Wow. Really, honestly, 3 Liquid goals were off of the demos here. And for Team Liquid, my goodness, what a way to get back into this. And for Guild, Again, Jorby, we talked about this multiple times with Guild. Look, I think they played a fine game here. This was a valiant effort. I don't think we can criticize them too much, but at the end of the day, when you're putting up 19 shots in a game, sure, they scored 4 of them, but I mean, there were a lot of chances they could probably put away that would have changed the outcome of this game.
And I just, like, Tho had so many great progressions down the field, and it was just one little mistake. You're chasing a little too hard on that play because Nolly, he was shadowing Speed, and he probably could have handled it. I'm not sure because Speed was already going supersonic, but Nolly wanted to kill that ball. You understand the urgency in that situation, but I do feel like Nolly had it under control. Guild could have been out of this 3-0.
And so we go again, Jorby. We go once more.
Into the breach.
It certainly has been an exciting series, and Tho has been electrifying for Guild in this series. Can he do it once more to close it out?
A low touch leads into a hard clear for Speed. And Tho just dump the ball in front. Nobody committing on that play from Guild. And they get out of that one and off a Speed shot. Nolly, though, can't ever grab onto the ball. He was out of boost. Tho grabs it to retreat for Liquid. Cooks turns to grab the next save. And Scrub waiting. Guild screening across midfield. They've been able to get back to this ball and keep it locked in the blue half. Scrub quick off the ceiling, only 30 boost in the tank, but came a little too far off to the side on the ceiling.
Great pop by Tho. Nolly's there. Fruity can't get across. Oh, Nolly with a flip and Tho to put it away. Who else for Guild? And a wonderful drawn up play here as Guild able to get the first goal. Wow.
Wow, that was a perfect progression there from Nolly. His adjustment on his flip was great. He had enough boost to be able to get back as well as he was boosting just to get that last touch and give Tho a chance at it. Well done. Cooks gonna look for a way out on Team Liquid, but Guild hop right on top of the ball. Liquid just take too long to get a play going downfield, and Guild aren't gonna sit around and wait forever. You're gonna hang on to the ball. Well, Tho has been content to dive forward, make a challenge happen while Nolly and Scrub clean up the damage. Or maybe just inflict more. It's probably more accurate. Tho launches the ball downfield, forces Fruity up for another save, but now Guild are set. Scrub Killer high up to receive. His shot's too light, but it still continues. Tho maybe looking for another Scrub ball. Nolly next up in front. Hard shot saved. Nice lead by Fruity.
Guild are doing a good job of just playing the ball that Liquid give them. A lot of time and space for them to deal with it and put something together, and they're really just firing off a bunch of shots. I mean, they're already at 8 here in this game, just shooting. Tho's got 5 himself, just throwing the ball at the Liquid net and eventually hoping that Liquid can't make the save or at least set them up in a way that they can make something happen. Here's a dangerous ball as Cooks here couldn't get there. Scrub is denied by Speed, and Liquid hang on.
Cooks has Speed downfield, but Nolly was ready to cut that pass off. And he gets in front, but it's not good enough to keep the ball. Cooks is ready, avoided Tho, but now Liquid got to keep a consistent push here. Speed, all he can do is get a rebound that lands right into Nolly's car, and Fruity is using a lot of boost just to stop that ball, but he does get the clear as nobody from Guild brought the press. But still, the pass to Nolly was clean, and he misses his second touch, but Scrub picks up the next off the backboard. Tho, shot, goal! Guild 2-goal lead!
Really tough situation there for Cooks here. And like you said, Jorby, a lot of boost being used for very soft touches on the clear. And unfortunately, nobody was back aside from Cooks here, but he was in such a bad position on that goal line. You can't blame them. He was just trying to check back to defend the net. But at that point, with the way that shot was coming down, it's tough for any defender to make a save.
One more goal might put Liquid into the ground. After this, Guild have started to heat up. They've controlled the game yet again. It looks like games 1 and 2 right now. Nolly didn't need to get that second touch. Scrub was ready for it. And that's been the difference, Maker Corelli, is that Guild always seem to be ready for whatever challenge happens on their first man, but Liquid, more times than not, they're left scrambling to react to the next touch. Speed gets a couple of touches, but Tho says thanks. for the ball, and Fruity back to Cooks. Everyone pulls off immediately, and they'll grab the ball off of it. But this time, Fruity pops it up for speed. He beats Nolly to the ball. Straight down, but no pressure at all for Liquid. There was just no window of opportunity, and Scrub scoops the ball away. No play for Liquid.
Guild, it has felt like, I mean, this performance in this series has been much better than in previous series, especially from last week. And I feel like Guild are just getting better and better as the series goes on. So have Liquid, but it does feel like Guild are definitely reading the game a lot quicker and a lot faster, or a lot better and efficiently than Liquid right now, as those just plays with it in the box. And maybe a chance here for Scrub as it's turned away by Cooks here.
And Tho keeps the gap closed against Fruity, but Cooks finds Fruity again. He heads downfield. Can't get the touch against Nolly, but this is a chance for Liquid, except they can't get to the touch. And Tho gets downfield for free. He can't collect, but that's just so much time wasted. And if Liquid were really gonna have a chance to get back into it, it has to happen right now. Tho, hard touch out to the corner. Nolly screening, but he loses the demo. Oh, no, Cooks! He jumped forwards, but the ball sailed over his head. There's still time, but they need at least a second on the clock. Another demo for Fruity. Speed. To Cooks. Does it matter? No! That is it. The ball can roll around in the air for as much as it wants. It's over. Guild, head to the playoffs.
That was such a painful series.
Guild do not head to the playoffs.
No,
Liquid
they're
are
still here.
That was the most Jorby moment I've had in like 2 weeks. All right, sorry, Corelli.
Guild's still alive. Unfortunately, we say goodbye to Team Liquid, and man, Guild really put on a lot of offense, especially in this last game, and it was just too much. It was simply too much. Liquid just couldn't get a hold of their defense, couldn't get a hold of the midfield, and a lot of space given up to a team that wants to have a lot of individual plays. This is the result that you see.
Yeah, and I just felt like it was, I said it after game one, Corelli, disjointed from Liquid. I still felt that way. We saw so many miscues, miscommunication, bad touches, and no pressure. Like the positioning was just worse than Guild every step of the way. They lost in every single phase of this. The only success that they had literally came off of demos and net. That's the only time Liquid were ever successful in this series. Well,
yeah, it was a tough series for Liquid. Unfortunately, they go home here. Guild still alive. They get their first win of the day.
They do, and a couple other matches still going on before we begin our next round of matches and figure out who else will be qualifying for tomorrow. We got more Rocket League coming up after the break. We'll be right back.